I'm Yousuf Mapara. I'm the creative director on Secret Ponchos.
I'm Caley. I'm the senior user interface designer. So Secret Ponchos is a top-down twin-stick multiplayer combat game. It takes place in a spaghetti western setting. We didn't have a name for the game. We had a development blog where we started to do everything, and we knew we had to keep it a secret. And so we're throwing around names, and nothing was resonating. And finally, we're like, well, we need to name this blog something. And so someone threw out like, well, what's something that sounds Wild West? And someone threw out Ponchos. So we called the development blog Secret Ponchos, and that sort of evolved into becoming the name of our game.
We really love the spaghetti western genre. A lot of the spaghetti western games that come out feel a little bit more leaning towards the realisms. So we knew we wanted to go really stylized, kind of like a graphic novel or a comic book spaghetti western. So it's just a little more fun. Characters can have more extreme abilities, and it's just all a cohesive kind of style that way.
I think fighting games, I don't think fighting games are stale. I think fighting games are evolving through iteration, through slight changes in each fighting game. It's a little bit different, but I don't think that they're changing in large amounts. And we didn't make Secret Ponchos to go out and try to make a fighting game that's radically different than anything else. We just ended up making a game that had elements of the fighting game genre, which is something we all love. Like it's a top-down shooter when you look at it, but the way it plays, it ends up becoming essentially a game where it's you versus another player, and you have spatial relationships that are very similar to those you find in fighting games. It has special moves, every character acts completely uniquely, and then you throw in team mode and it becomes an even more complex fighting game. Primarily it's a multiplayer game. There is a single player tournament mode where you can go through and play various AI iterations of the characters. But really, multiplayer is where the meat and potatoes of the game lie. It's a spaghetti western, so we really wanted to emphasize dueling and combat, and you versus another guy, or you and your friends versus another team. So we put in a variety of modes. We put in 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 4 versus 4. There's an 8-player deathmatch, basically, free-for-all mode. And on top of that, there's a custom mode where you can set up. If you're one of the best guys out there, you can actually go in and set up 1 versus 3 if you wanted, like take on all comers sort of thing. So we really felt that we wanted to provide a wide variety of combat to help keep things really fresh and innovative. The other thing that's really interesting about having team modes in a fighting game is that it changes the dynamic of your character. So if you have a character, let's say character A, and you have character B and your friend's using, you start to fight in totally different ways that complement each other than how you play in a 1 versus 1. And it's really cool. It's really cool to see. Like the moves become less about this is all I can do, and more like if I do this, then he can do this right after, and it's effective. So you have whole new streams of combinations and uses for your characters.
In Secret Ponchos, character customization is very important to us. So you actually create a character. You choose one of the archetypes. That means that's what weapons they use, the animations they play and stuff. But you name your character. From there on, it tracks your battle history. So you have a bounty on your head. Each time you kill somebody, your bounty goes up. But if someone kills you, they collect the bounty on your head. Your bounty goes down. So you gain reputation. So the goal is, you want to make your head worth a lot if you're an awesome player. As you gain these reputation points, you level up. And each time you level up, you unlock perk points that you can assign to gameplay properties. So it's pretty cool. Like you can create multiple characters, and then you can say, I want this one to have, I'm going to put all my perk points into damage, so he hits really hard, or I want to invest them all into movement speed, so he's the fastest version of Kid Red possible. So you really customize, not only not so much superficially, but you customize the way your character plays so that it suits your kind of play style. We're going to launch the game with 6 characters, but we have so many cool character designs that we love making these guys. So we're going to continue with DLC after game launch. We're hoping to continue adding characters as long as people like the game and keep playing it. We're gonna be adding new characters and eventually new levels and possibly game modes also.
So we're exclusively debuting with Sony on the PlayStation 4. We're going to be a part of the Plus program. So if you're a Plus member, you'll have the chance to download and play our game for free. After that, it's Q1 release we're looking at, Q1 somewhere around January, February, and somewhere in there we think. But again, like Sony hasn't actually officially announced when they're releasing PlayStation 4, so it's subject to change a little bit. But that's what we're targeting.